Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to cover a very important question. This is actually a topic I've been wanting to bring up about meditation and controlling your inner conversation. Even when your world is hectic or it's chaotic or you have a lot of things going on in your life, you're thinking, well, how am I supposed to meditate? How am I supposed to control my inner dialogue and change it when all these chaotic things are going on? And I got this question from recently, Rupam Sharma, which is how to control my inner talk while everything is chaotic in my 3D environment. And I want to go over this because this is one thing that I had to conquer when I was in prison, because prison is most people think when they think of prison, they think it's going to be like quiet and you're going to have like solitude and, not be around a lot of people. But really it's the opposite. At least where I'm from, in the state facilities that I went to, you actually live in one big room, where the room's not even that big really, but you live in there depending on what prison it is. Because I went to 3 different prisons, but the first prison I went to was one room and there was 86 inmates in that same room, and they'd like stacked the bunks. Like the bunks were stacked. Everything was like, it was like warehousing for prisoners. Like they got as many prisoners legally possible in this room to live. And the shower, everything's open. There's no privacy. The toilets are wide open. The showers are wide open. Everything is wide open. And there is no such thing in these dorms when you're actually living in them with 86 or 85 other prisoners. There's no time where it's absolutely quiet. Like you will not find a moment in any day where it's complete silence. There's always something going on. Conversations, fighting, chaos. Something's always going on in these prison systems, or they're screaming on the loudspeakers. With the officers would be screaming something on the loudspeakers. It was just like a constant, chaos. It was constant loud noise always going on. But what I found was this was actually a very powerful instrument or a tool to upgrade the version of myself. Because if you can overcome the noise and still be able to meditate and still be able to observe your thoughts during all this chaos around you, then as soon as you get into silence, then you're going to be able to meditate so simply, and you're going to enjoy every moment of it. It's going to be much more simple. So if you can overcome this, if you can do your meditations with chaos going around in your 3D world, then it's going to be much easier for you to actually get to that next level where you can be like an ultimate or a master manifester by using your mind in this chaos to find peace. So what this does is you will learn to still the mind no matter what's going on around you. And that's the key to meditation, really, and understanding the mind and developing the muscle of the mind in this meditation, where you can slow your inner dialogue down and see all of your thoughts and read all of your thoughts and know what you're thinking at all times, even under pressure, even under chaos. You're always observing your thoughts and you're always controlling them, even in negative environments where there's a lot of chaos going on. So what I found was a powerful tool to upgrade myself. And what I found was I would actually intentionally meditate when it was louder, like it was something going on in the dorm, that was intentionally a lot louder than usual. I would go into a meditation on purpose. I would do this on purpose just to meditate and focus on my thoughts. And as I'm meditating, I'm just observing my thoughts. I'm seeing where they're going during this chaos. So I have my eyes closed and I'm meditating and I'm observing my thoughts and seeing where they're going, and just like allowing them to go where they want to go, but I want to just notice them. And what I found was during the chaos, my mind it was drifting to negative things. Like it was constantly like attaching itself to the chaos and creating more chaos inside my mind, like in a negative way. And this is where I realized a lot of the issues that I had in my core belief systems. And what I found was my mind was trained to attach itself to negative things or chaos. And it was actually creating the chaos. Like everything that I had done in my past led me to that moment where I was in total chaos in prison. So my mind and my beliefs, everything I considered to be true, was all created by the way that my mind was operating, because the world is you pushed out. Everything is you pushed out. So what was creating this entire event to happen to me, the chaos itself, was actually me. And I could see my mind attaching itself to the chaos and was actually creating that. So what I had to do was start restructuring my mind from this. So this was a very powerful tool, meditating during this chaos, because I realized that I created everything that was happening to me. because of the way that my mind was. It would literally attach itself to the chaos and create more chaos in my mind. And I started picturing other chaotic things happening. And it was like leading me to a more chaotic life when other chaos was happening, because my mind was automatically reacting to the chaos and the negative things. So when you react to negative things, or you become emotional about negative things in your life, then that will be recreated in your 3D world in the future. And so this is like a big turning point for me, actually, because what I realized is that my life was the way that it was because I was reacting emotionally to negative things and chaos in my life, like finding reasons not to meditate because how am I supposed to meditate when all this chaos is going on? Because you're reacting to that chaos. So when you say that, that means that the chaos is in your life because of the way that you're thinking. If you don't think you can meditate during the chaos, that's the reason why the chaos is there, is because of this reason. So you have to overcome this obstacle by forcing yourself into meditation during the chaos, during the loud things that are going on in your life. And you have to observe your thoughts and train your mind to not react emotionally to these things anymore, to break that connection that you have that's creating the actual chaos in your life. Because that is you. That's the way your mind is programmed. So focus on this. This is what I want you to do. I want you to start meditating when chaos is going on and thinking positive. Be like, okay, this is a good opportunity for me to meditate right now. I got all this chaos going on, so I'm gonna intentionally meditate right now, and I'm gonna observe my thoughts because I want to know why I'm creating all these negative things in my life and this chaos that's going on. Why can I not get any silence? It's because your mind is not silent. That is why this is all going on. The chaos, the questions that you give me about this. How can I meditate if there's all this chaos going around? Your mind created the chaos because it is chaotic within. Your inner dialogue is chaotic and it's uncontrolled. So your world is uncontrolled. You don't have any silence because of this. So you need to focus on this. And this is it's a powerful instrument to use this, to go into meditation during the chaos, observe your thinking, and notice that you are attaching yourself to these things and start changing them. And one of the most simple things you can do to change this is just observing it and seeing it. Like once you see that your mind is attaching itself to the chaos and is actually creating that and becoming emotional about it and then recreating it. And once you know that, like know the information that I'm giving you in this video, and actually observe your mind attaching itself to the chaos and then recreating it, and understand that that is why your world is the way that it is, and start observing that and watching it. Once you observe something, you change it. It'll instantly change once you know and once you understand it while you're observing it. And everything will change. You'll have a big shift during these meditations by just observing it. But don't try to fight your thoughts when you're doing this. You're doing this when you're meditating during the chaos and all the negative and loud things that are going on in your life. You're not going to fight your mind during this. You're doing this to see where your mind is going and see what it's doing during these chaotic moments, because that's the point of this meditation. You want to see what your mind is doing during the chaos, and you're going to watch it and observe it become emotional about these chaotic things. But that's what's recreating it in the future. That's why it keeps on happening, is because your mind is automatically attaching to this. So that is the purpose of this meditation, is just to observe your thoughts and watch them. And when you watch them and you see all this, when you actually observe and participate during this whole thing, there's going to be a shift when you see that, and then your awareness is going to increase. And when your awareness increases, then you can make changes with your mind, because now you're going to be the observer of your mind. And when you have this awakening of this awareness, of this increased awareness, then you're going to be able to make a shift. And it may not all happen at one time, but now you're the observer. Now you've gone outside of yourself and you've watched your thoughts. You've seen and witnessed them become emotional about this chaotic things and all this loud stuff that's going on around you. Once you have that observation, then you're going to have this increased awareness, and you're going to be able to start changing it. And you'll start to notice that things are going to start getting quieter almost like instantly. Like I would shift to different dorms. Like all of a sudden they would come tell me, like at first I was in a really loud dorm, bad dorms, horrible dorms. Then all of a sudden I'm meditating during this chaos and I have these moments. Then all of a sudden they'll say, hey, the officers come in, hey, pack it up. You're moving over here to this other dorm. Why am I moving over there? and the officers would say, "Don't worry about that. You pack it up. You're leaving." Then I would go to another dorm, and it wouldn't be as chaotic, and it wouldn't be as loud all the time. I mean, they're still loud, but there was like increments. Like, it would happen as I'm changing my inner dialogue. Something magical would happen, and then I would change, and then I would move to a better dorm, then a better dorm, then a better prison, and then another better dorm, and then another prison, and then it just slowly started unwrapping my mind, because I realized that I was the one that was creating all the chaos. Everything that happens to me, the reason why I was in prison was because the world was me pushed out, and I put myself in prison. I was living in prison in my mind before I even went there. And feeling is the secret. So I was feeling myself in prison before I got there. So what happened? I went to prison. I created a prison in my 3D world because I was living in a prison in my mind. My mind was a prison. So then I created prison in the 3D world. And then once I realized, this is the big awakening that I had, this is why I'm glad this question came up, because it popped up all of these memories that I had during my awareness, my increased awareness, is observing my thoughts, my inner dialogue, and realizing that I was the one creating the chaos. So if there's chaos in your life and you can't find time to meditate when it's silent, that means that it's so vitally important that you go into meditation during the chaos, because you have created the chaos in your life, and that's making you avoid the entire issue of change. So this is a powerful instrument to use during the chaos. That way you can observe your thoughts during the chaos. That way you see why your mind is creating the chaos itself. Because if you're meditating, if you can't find time to meditate because your mind is so chaotic that it can't meditate during chaos, that's the sole reason why your life is chaotic. So when you actually have chaos and it's loud and you want to meditate and you're like, okay, I can't meditate because I have all this stuff going on around you, then you must force yourself to go into this meditation during all of this chaos, because that is a telltale sign that you need to meditate. Like, if you have chaotic things and negative things going on in your life where it's always noisy and you don't know why, that's the reason. Is because you need to go. That is your true self telling you that you need to fix something within yourself. You need to make a change within yourself. You need to focus on the inward, on the inside. You need to focus on the inside and figure out what's going on and why your world is the way that it is, because the world is you pushed out. So if anything's going on in your world that you do not like and you don't understand why it's happening, you have to go within. You cannot change anything without changing first within. And that's how you change everything. And that's what I figured out. That was the awakening I had. My increased awareness showed me all this by doing this exercise and meditating during the chaos. So if you have chaos, then that's a telltale sign that you need to go into meditation, because if there's chaos and noise and you're trying to change your inner dialogue, the chaos and the noise is coming from your inner dialogue. So you can't change outside until you change within. So if that's going on, then you need to meditate right then and figure out why this is being pushed out from you, because the world is you pushed out. So that answers the question of how do you meditate if you always have chaos and loud noises going on around you. You force yourself to go into meditation because the loud noises and the chaos are coming from inside of you. So this is a telltale sign to get in there, force yourself to go into meditation to make the proper changes. Observe this, don't fight it, just observe your thoughts, and you'll have an increased awareness from this, and you'll have a big shift that you could really make some solid changes after this. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to give me one thing you guys are grateful for in the column box below, or any questions that you have for future content, leave that in the column box below as well. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.